So you're thinking about moving to Meridian, Idaho, but as you started researching, you're starting to think about what might be coming next. You've kind of started to realize, I don't know anything about Meridian. I need to start with some base knowledge. What do people actually like to do when they live there? Where are we located? What are the main streets? All of the basic stuff. Well, today I'm going to take you through, as somebody who lived in Meridian for about 8 years, I'm going to take you through as much as I can through Google Maps and Google Earth and give you a little bit of a taste of some of the best things about Meridian, give you a few tips on how you should get places. We're going to talk about hospitals. We're going to talk about grocery stores, neighborhoods. We're going to dive into it and hopefully answer some of those questions about what it's actually like to live here in Meridian, Idaho. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. To get started, we're going to go over some stuff in Google Maps, and then we're going to spend some time in Google Earth as well to give you a little bit more of, when possible, kind of the real world. What do things actually look like? What we're going to talk about today is I'm going to go through an overall kind of area overview of Meridian. What is the difference between North Meridian, South Meridian? What should you be looking for in each of those areas? We're going to go through some of the main streets that come in and out of Meridian. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what does that commute look like? How do you actually get from Meridian to Boise, vice versa? What kind of traffic should you expect? What are kind of some of the back roads that you could take? Then we're going to talk a lot about shopping, restaurants, figure out where those things to do are, where are those hotspots that you might want to be located near or potentially farther away from, depending on what you're looking for. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about hospitals and medical care. And to wrap it up, I'm just going to give you a little bit of my local kind of favorite spots, different restaurants, different parks, places that I think you should check out, whether you're moving here or if you're just visiting. They're cool places that I definitely think belong on your list. So really, to get started, I want to outline kind of what is Meridian. So when we look at our overall valley, let me get this zoomed out so some of the businesses disappear. We have Boise over here, kind of our downtown. Everything else is always west. Meridian is going to be this main kind of center of our valley right here. When we look at Meridian, the main roads that kind of separate Meridian from the surrounding areas, and we'll go through some of these roads a little bit later when we talk about the commutes and such, and these are roads I've talked about a lot on the channel before, is on the north side, kind of separating Meridian from Eagle. Roughly, we use Chinden up here as kind of the main northern edge. We use Eagle Road over here all the way down. That pretty much separates Meridian on this side from Boise over here. We use just past Lake Hazel here, kind of right between Lake Hazel and Columbia is what it's called. You don't need to know the main names of the roads quite yet, but that's where we see the separation of Meridian and then Kuna down here. And then kind of coming up here, roughly we use this McDermott or Highway 16 as the separation of where Meridian kind of stops and where Nampa begins. But a big part of this, especially when I take you over to the Google Earth side, is you will just see that kind of that road that I just highlighted is like right here. It's basically where Meridian development kind of ends, and then you'll have this little bit of a break before you get into the Nampa development. Now, as far as kind of what the area, how it is set up, we are going to be looking at two kind of separate sections. When we're thinking about Meridian, you'll hear people all the time reference North Meridian, which is going to be north of our main highway, Highway 84. And then you're going to have South Meridian, which is going to be that southern portion kind of after I-84. Basically, when people are talking about these, a lot of times people will say, hey, I like North Meridian more. I just think it has more to do. It has all the shopping. It has grocery stores. It just feels like I can actually exist there. South Meridian, and this has gotten a lot better over the last few years, people were super worried that they would have to drive 10, 15 minutes to get to their grocery store. They feel so separated if they want to go out to dinner, all of that. Everything comes down to just how it was developed. So over in the Google Earth side, you're going to see here, on the northern side of Meridian, all of this here, you can just see how much of it is actually developed. All of these subdivisions kind of coming all the way through. There's really only a very small portion here and there that don't have homes, commercials, something already going on. This is going to make North Meridian feel like the bustling kind of city center that some people are really looking for. All of this is just because that's where development started. A lot of the older parts of Meridian, kind of here, I would say, as you're kind of around downtown Meridian coming out from Boise, you're going to have homes that were built in the 1980s, potentially some in the 70s, but really it's the 80s, 90s is where you're going to see a ton of the homes. Everything else kind of out here, they are not super old homes. We're looking at 2000s, 2010s, but a neighborhood that was built 15 years ago is going to have some of that mature landscaping. It's going to have that feel that it has kind of the established aura to it almost. Whereas in South Meridian, everything down here, roughly, you're going to have a lot more of this open space. You're going to have a lot more of development coming. Because of this, as we kind of zoom in, there's not going to be quite as many restaurants, there's not going to be quite as many grocery stores, all of that down here. But what it does have is, one, it's a great opportunity for new construction. If you are looking for kind of a newer home, you like Meridian, but you're not attached to being up towards Eagle, anything like that, a lot of our new developments are down in this part of town, and they are absolutely gorgeous. You can find almost every single builder, everything from kind of our entry-level CBH all the way up to our custom $2-3 million homes in the Keep down here. One of the things that I always like to point out about South Meridian is, let's see if I can get this to appear, the developers and some of the builders were really, really good at, I just got myself lost. There's Discovery Park. Okay, so right here, this is Sky Mesa. This is just one of our developments here. It's been going, it's, I think, just in its final phase, but it's been building for 15 years now. But you can kind of see that the homes are built into a very small little hillside, which has allowed them to actually put homes almost with like a view, almost set up like a view home. They kind of build it so that the one street is above the next street right here, and then it's above the next street here, and vice versa, all the way down, so that everything else, you actually start to get some of these view homes in a part of town where you really shouldn't be getting view homes. There's not any massive foothills, places for these to happen. So there's some cool, unique neighborhoods out here that give you this kind of, let me get this turned back around and then zoom out so that you can see, you get this sweet view this way of all of the foothills. You get everything. You got the mountains that are kind of tucked back kind of behind the foothills. So you really have some cool opportunities for some actual view kind of rim homes, I guess is the way I should talk about it. You've got Sky Mesa, you've got Reflection Ridge over here, all sorts of options for that. As you're looking at South Meridian though, again, you're going to find a little bit more affordable options in South Meridian compared to North Meridian. If you find the exact same home down here, brand new construction we'll use, if you're right here and it's a home that you think is probably worth, let's just say $700K in South Meridian. In North Meridian, if we're over here in brand new construction, you're pretty easily gonna be, I would say, $750K, if not $800K. It's not a huge difference. It's not anything crazy, but it is going to be something that you should kind of consider. Is I'm probably going to get a little bit more bang for my buck in South Meridian than North Meridian, but there's a reason for that. In South Meridian, you're getting a little bit more value because you are ahead of that development. As we kind of talk about shopping, we talk about restaurants and such, South Meridian just got their first Albertsons, if I can make sure I'm going the right way, down Eagle Road right here on Amity. They just got their first kind of big Albertsons, or our big grocery store here. They just got one right there. Before that, they had a couple of smaller Albertsons kind of here in Southwest Boise, but that was really the only grocery store. You had to go all the way down here to Cuna, or you had to make your way back up into Meridian. They also have a very few kind of like restaurants and such kind of tucked back here. They're getting some more kind of by the Albertsons. They've got some kind of up off the highway here. But once we get to the highway, it's kind of North and South Meridian. But that's pretty much all of the commercial, the shopping, restaurants, everything like that right now. The cool thing though is the way that our development kind of works is we always start with housing. We always start with people. If people aren't there, there's no reason to develop anything else. We see the housing come in. After that, we'll start to see kind of the major like parks and such. We start to have Discovery Park pop up, kind of those nature things to do, I would say, kind of come second. Then we always have grocery come third, so that Albertsons right there is a big step for all of these people. And then from there, and apologize my writing, we start to have kind of the shopping, restaurants, coffee shops, more of the commercial stuff pop up. All of the development out here, they are good on housing. They're going to continue, but that's been done. Parks and such, there are a ton of great places in South Meridian to go. Grocery, we finally got one. I'm sure we'll get another one at some point, but that will suffice for now. So the next big thing on the development of South Meridian is going to be those shopping and restaurants. So that was a long way to say, in South Meridian, you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck because you are buying ahead of the development. You are saying, hey, I want to live there. I am okay for 6 months, a year, 18 months, not having the shopping place 5 minutes away. I'm okay driving to the village, anything like that. Whereas in Meridian, you already have all of that. It's more established. You don't have to, there's no value in being ahead of the development, if that makes sense. Now, when we look into North Meridian, and this is where we'll spend the most of our time for the shopping and restaurants. Let's start on Google Maps. I'm going to give you a couple of areas that we're going to look. We're going to obviously look here at the village at Meridian. We're going to spend a lot of time kind of talking about this road here, Eagle Road. It's kind of our main commercial drive road, however you want to say it, pretty much in the entire valley, outside of the mall, kind of in downtown, right here, Boise Town Square. This is going to be where a lot of the chain restaurants, the big box stores, your Targets, your World Markets, Petco, everything like that, a lot of that's going to be on Eagle Road. So it's going to be somewhere that you're going to spend quite a bit of time. We're also going to be talking about, let's get rid of the one in Meridian. We're going to be talking about this road here from roughly Meridian Road all the way in. That is going to be Fairview. There's also going to be some good shopping, grocery stores, etc. right there. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about this zone, kind of not a perfect picture, right back here. You're going to see that you have your Costco, you have a Walmart. Fred Meyer is kind of our Kroger grocery store here. And then around Fred Meyer, we're having a ton of commercial development. We're going to have a brand new library. We're going to have another grocery store, Winco, kind of more of the value, I would say like discount grocery store. You have a couple of restaurants, everything like that over here. So that's where we're going to spend a lot of the time talking about actual like commercial, with finally the last little bit being right off the highway here in Meridian. When we're talking about kind of those shopping and restaurant areas, the reason that these are located where they're at is because they are a part of kind of these major roads. So when you're coming in and out of Meridian, something again that we've talked about on the channel quite a bit is our one highway. So we have got I-84 that basically comes from the southeastern portion of the state. Sorry about that little bump. And then it kind of trickles all the way up and it will take you out to Oregon, Washington. I believe it's Oregon that it cuts through. It cuts through our entire valley, but that is our only kind of interstate highway that cuts through our place. Because of this, when we talked about the development, that's what it followed. The other main roads when we're talking about Meridian is we've got I-84 here, and that's what you will take to get into Boise down here or to get kind of out towards Nampa, Caldwell, etc. Getting from this top portion of Meridian to the highway can be kind of a pain in the butt. It can take you 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on traffic. Because of this, though, the way that our city was kind of developed is we have got this grid system pretty much everywhere throughout, all the way from downtown, which is where a lot of cities kind of grid systems are, but then where they stop. We've got that all the way out through Meridian, all the way out even past it. So because of this, let's say that you are driving. We're going to use a few different scenarios. Let's say that you're living roughly right here in the heart of Meridian, but on the northern side. Your GPS is pretty much always going to take you out and then down to the highway. Our three major exits in Meridian are going to be right here. This is going to be Eagle Road. You're going to have right here Meridian Road, and then you're going to have 10 Mile Road. Those are the three exits to get off the highway into Meridian. After that, you're all the way out in Nampa, and then the last exit before then is actually this like Flying Y in Franklin here. So there's really not a lot of options with the highway, but you do have those three kind of on-ramps. So we have highway exit number 1, 2, and 3. So using our example, let's say that you're right here. Your GPS will probably tell you to kind of, hey, let's take 10 mile down. Let's go to the highway. Then let's take the highway all the way in. And then you can choose how you want to get into downtown Boise. A lot of times this is what everybody's going to do. So traffic during the rush hour going towards Boise is going to be pretty busy. If you're ever going against all of this flow, you're going to have a pretty easy time. But going to Boise in the morning, or of course away from Boise in the afternoon, is going to be where a lot of the traffic is. But what I want to point out is, instead of doing this, let's say that you just don't like the route, traffic is really bad, there's construction, whatever, there's a couple of different ways. So the other main road to get into Boise is going to be Chinden. Chinden goes all the way down into downtown Boise and will actually kind of continue past, but that is a great way to kind of go. Speeds on Chinden are probably going to be 55, 50. It does get down to 35 and 40 as you get closer to town, but it's a really good road to head down on. The other one, and this one's tougher for Meridian, but you can still take it either by shooting up Linder or by shooting up Eagle here, is going to be State Street, which again goes all the way into downtown as well. Very similar setup to Chinden, a little bit higher speeds, but there are still going to be lights, etc. It's still a back road. But the really cool thing is, let's say you don't want to do any of these. You're not somebody that wants to mess with traffic. You don't want people swerving in and out. You just don't like the stress that comes with the commute. You can actually shoot down McMillan here, take you down into most of Boise, make your way down. My first home was right here next to Settlers Park. I worked for the University of Boise State, which was roughly right here at that time. My way to get into work every single time was I would hop onto U-Stick right here. I would come all the way down. I would kind of follow this in to Chinden to get into work. I didn't like taking the highway, but on the days where, let's say that I felt like I was running late, so I wanted to be able to go 75, 80, don't tell anyone, probably 85, I would shoot down Meridian Road. There's a lot of different ways for you to get places. As you get more and more familiar, and I won't spend too much time on this, is you will also get really good at being like, hey, Meridian's a little bit backed up. Let's just shoot down towards Eagle. Everything, again, is the grid setup, so it's really easy to kind of navigate and follow. Okay, shifting away from the commute and how you'll actually get places, I want to talk about the places that you'll probably want to be going to in Meridian itself. So we're going to talk about that shopping that I kind of mentioned a few minutes ago. The main areas that we're going to want to look at is, of course, those highway exits. That's where you're going to see a lot of this kind of, when you're looking at the map, this yellow tan kind of gorgeous color that they like to use. That is going to be your actual like designated commercial space. So this is where you're going to find a lot of those restaurants. You're going to find the Home Depots, the grocery stores. You're going to find the dental offices, everything like that. A lot of that's obviously going to be centered here along the highway. Now, some specific actual stores and such that I want to point out, because I know it's things that people always love being close to, or they ask about them, is Costco. You're going to have the Costco up here. This is where you're going to spend quite a bit of time if you have the membership. We still go into it probably once every couple of weeks, and we're in Eagle now. Costco's right here. You've got your one Walmart here. You also have a second Walmart just on this side of kind of Eagle Road. So technically this is Boise, but something that's really cool about our valley, if you haven't watched any of the videos before, is if you're in Eagle, you're roughly 5 to 10 minutes from Meridian. If you're in Meridian, you are about 10 to 15 minutes to downtown Boise, depending on where you're at. So everything's still pretty close. So even though it's on the other side, it's not technically in Meridian, you are just a few minutes away. You're going to have the Village at Meridian right here. You're going to have, again, kind of some of the smaller Albertsons and stuff tucked all the way through here, but you're going to have Target, which people always love to see, right here on the edge of Eagle Road. I'm going to take you down through Eagle Road here. So this exit right here, let's go ahead and just take you 2D. There we go. This exit kind of coming off this Highway 84 here. So this is going to be that main highway. If you're getting off on Eagle Road, you're going to come here and you're going to start heading down this way. When you start to head down Eagle Road, you're going to see a few pretty cool things. So first hospital right here off Eagle Road, you're going to have St. Luke's, their whole campus right here. As you're kind of heading down, you're going to start to see some of these kind of big box stores. You're going to have your Under Armour, you're going to have your World Market, PetSmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, all of these. You're gonna have your Arby's, Carl's Jr., all of the chain restaurants, Red Robin over here, all sorts of cool stuff here. As you continue to go down Eagle Road, this is where you're gonna have the actual village, but we're gonna come back to that one here in a second. You're gonna see more and more of these kind of big box stores, the Sierra Trading Post, Marshall's, Petco, Michael's, everything like that. Right here, you're gonna have kind of your Cafe Zupas, Noodles and Company, Chipotle, Blaze Pizza, all of that. Continuing to kind of follow down Eagle Road, as you can see, it's just kind of commercial after commercial after commercial. One of the things that I always like to point out here is you've got your Trader Joe's. So your Trader Joe's is actually located basically like right here. So you've got a TJ's right in the heart of Meridian. Let's go ahead and come back down. You're gonna see your Lowe's right here. You're gonna have Kohl's, if I can get it zoomed around. Oh, here you go. Here's your Kohl's over here, Hobby Lobby, all sorts of cool stuff. As you continue to head down Eagle Road, you'll start to see more of the dental offices. You'll have another grocery store here. Everything kind of down Eagle Road is going to be where, if you're looking for something, it's going to be a really good place for you to kind of start your search, kind of ending with Target on this main area up here. The area that I always kind of talk to people about, because it is at this point kind of a mainstay of Meridian, but also of our valley as a whole, is going to be the village right here. So the village is going to have, you can kind of see, let's look at this. You're gonna have Big Al's, which is kind of the, oh goodness, the bowling, kind of laser tag, the family fun center kind of thing here in Meridian. You're gonna have Axiom, a big gym. But for restaurants, you're gonna have a ton of them kind of tucked back here. You're gonna have Yard House, you're gonna have a Mexican restaurant, Matador, Twig's Bistro, you're gonna have Grimaldi's, you're gonna have kind of the food court, you're gonna have Kona Grill kind of tucked back here. A ton of really good options in the village itself. Let's go ahead and go here though. Something that I always like to show, and it might be something that I'll include a little bit more B-roll, but they have this like really cool fountain and such here. You can see a few of these umbrellas. This is that food court, coffee shop. They've got a cool fountain. It'll follow like music throughout the time of the year. It's a really cool place to be. I know that the pixelated image on Google Earth doesn't always give you the best view. And then finally right here, you're gonna see this big, big movie theater here. That's going to be kind of the central movie theater here in Meridian. So as it spins around, the reason that I'm doing this is I just want to show you kind of this side of this same kind of mall that's coming down. So you're going to have over here your Old Navy's, Albertsons Market Street. This is kind of a extra special, extra large Albertsons. Again, it's our main one of our main grocery stores here, but they're kind of shifting from the smaller grocery stores to the bigger. Albertsons Market Street is massive. They've got all sorts of things that a normal grocery store doesn't have, so it's worth checking out. Office Depot, again, furniture stores, etc. And then over here is going to be that next Walmart. The other areas that you're going to be spending some time at if you're shopping is going to be right here off of that second exit out of the highway. You're going to be getting off of Meridian Road here. That's where you're going to find really close to the highway, Roaring Springs, which is kind of our big water park. They also have another little bowling family fun center kind of thing here. It has been expanded quite a bit, so all of this is an extension of this water park now. It's actually been completed, so this is a massive water park. I know it was on some list of biggest in the country. I don't know how they come up with those lists, so feel free to do some of that research. But as you kind of come off the highway here, you're gonna see that you're gonna have the Home Depot tucked over here, Winco. You're gonna have some of the restaurants as you kind of come down Meridian Road. You're gonna have KFC, Taco Bell, everything like that. As we're kind of coming through, we're gonna come back to this right here. This is where you kind of have the split. So when we're coming off the highway, we're coming down here. If you continue around this road, that's gonna be Meridian Road. It's gonna take you pretty much all the way through Meridian. Right here though, this is gonna take you into downtown Meridian. As you can see from all of this construction, downtown Meridian is not a lot. It's not a sight to behold right now. There's not a ton going on, but they've definitely gotten started. Even though downtown Meridian may not be built up all the way to provide you with all of the quote unquote downtown things that you're really looking for, over the next 5 or 6 years, I do think downtown Meridian is going to continue to grow and really be a hub of a place that people living in Meridian can go to instead of always having to go to downtown Boise or over to Eagle when they're looking for kind of that downtown feel. A couple of places that I always like to kind of give a little bit of a shout out to are right here on the left. This is Heritage Hop House and Sushi Shack. Great place in downtown Meridian. Over here across the way, and I know this pixelated image isn't really giving you much, but there's a great breakfast place, Sunrise Cafe. There's actually quite a few of those kind of around our entire valley. Right here, you're going to see kind of Generations Plaza here, and then you're going to see 830 Common, which was one of our favorite places in downtown Meridian. Great kind of like bar and grill place. They do trivia on Wednesdays. Really cool place that you should check out. As you start to continue to go up these two roads, so you're going to see right here, this is just where we were at. So that's going to be the main street. And then this is the extension of Meridian Road kind of continuing. Whichever one that you follow, you're going to end up here going down Fairview. Fairview is going to be kind of the last big, I would say, commercial area here. So this is Meridian, this is Main Street. This part here is going to be Fairview. Like I said, Fairview is going to be really the last main commercial space that you're probably going to end up at quite a bit. There's a ton of restaurants, there's a ton of medical offices, little strip malls, there's a couple of grocery stores, you got the big Crunch Fitness gym. All of this stuff on Fairview will kind of extend down to here where you can kind of see that the village is just right here. So to give you a little bit of an overview of everywhere that we just talked about. This right here is getting off on Eagle Road. The village is right here. Target is up here. So Eagle Road kind of continues all the way there. Take the highway down. You got your Meridian Road exit here, which kind of splits off into downtown Meridian and then Meridian Road there. And then you've got Fairview, that will shoot down all the way here and actually connect with the village and Eagle Road. To show you on the actual big map from above, let's say that you're living down here in South Meridian. This is kind of everything that we looked at. So right here, again, is Eagle Road. We've got the village roughly right there. You've got the Meridian exit here coming into downtown Meridian. And then this is Fairview. So all of this, again, is just to show, even if you're in South Meridian that isn't developed as much as it will be here in a few years, you're still just a few minutes away from all of the services that you're going to want. Even in rush hour, and it's going to take you a little bit, you're going to get from this tip edge of South Meridian to the village, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes. It is not extremely far, so you're definitely still within shouting distance, and that's only going to continue to go down as time goes. Now let's shift the focus to healthcare. I want to show you all where your best options for kind of hospitals, campuses, etc. That'll provide you with really any of the healthcare needs that you're needing, whether it's the emergency care, if you're expecting a child, anything like that. If you have a pre-existing condition to where you need to know the proximity to this provider or this one, this is a big thing that you want to plan for. So when you're in Meridian, again, we're here in the central location. I already showed you that one St. Luke's big health campus is right here off the Eagle Road exit. You're also going to have one out here in Eagle. You're going to have one in Nampa. So if you are kind of on this edge of Meridian, you're going to have a pretty quick shot over there. A new one just got built right here off the 10-mile exit, Saltzer Health. They built a new hospital campus out there. And then, of course, you're going to have the options in downtown Boise. And then right off the highway here, you're going to have a St. Alphonsus, another hospital that's an option for you. If you're not looking for the actual hospital and you need just like that emergency care or just kind of that routine primary care, you're going to have a ton of urgent care, and the brand here is Primary Health all throughout. So there's probably easily, I would say, 6 to 7 of them in the Meridian or West Boise area themselves. So if you're needing the emergency care or anything like that, you're really not going to have to look too far, but it is something to kind of plan for. Before we wrap up, there was one thing that I promised you at the beginning of all of this, is I was going to show you a few of my favorite places. We've been here for almost a decade now. There are some places in Meridian that we just absolutely love, and we make sure to check out as much as we can, but also for people who might be moving here, or if you're just visiting, these are places that you should probably put on your list and at least just think about going to check out. So in Meridian itself, the one thing that I know I've talked about before on the channel that I really like about Meridian is Meridian itself is going to be roughly, let's just say, right about there. You're going to see that it is in the center of everything in our valley. What this provides to you is no matter what you want to do, where you want to go, you're going to be in a good position to get out there. Going to Nampa, you're already halfway there. If you want to head back into Boise, you're already almost there. If you want to escape out to the foothills, Meridian is just a few minutes away. And the cool thing is the Eagle and the Boise, they get a lot of the location kind of benefits of being closer to the outdoors, being closer to the big things, anything like that. You're going to get more bang for your buck in Meridian while still being just a few minutes out. So the location of Meridian, the city itself, is second to none in my opinion. But when we're looking at actual specific things in Meridian, I want to show you a couple, starting with in downtown Meridian right here, the Meridian Speedway. So the Speedway is a small racetrack. Every single week, pretty much throughout most of the summer and the fall, they do Saturday kind of like races. So there's all sorts of different levels of automobiles, machines. I'm not a mechanic. I am not the one who's going to be the expert on these, but it is a great place to go have some fun. They have all the concessions. It's family friendly. They got the buckets of beers. Great place to go out and really enjoy some summer weather and have some fun. They also do a really cool kind of July 4th fireworks show, all of that. Right next to it, we also have Story Bark Park. This is one of our favorite dog parks here in the valley. It's extremely clean. It's well taken care of. They have it split up here where the small dogs can kind of be in this location at the bottom, and then the big dogs can kind of be up here. That is completely up to your kind of opinion where you want your dog to be. They also have all of these kind of like little obstacle course training things throughout the dog park that you can kind of use and have some fun with your dog while playing fetch, whatever you want to do. As we start to zoom out a little bit, I want to point out a couple of golf courses. So here at the north edge of Meridian, there's going to be one of our more coveted communities, Spurwing Country Club, or the Spurwing subdivision. The big thing here is it is one of the best golf courses in our valley. So they have an actual championship golf course. They're also going to have a par 3 course, but they have the neighborhood kind of like running throughout it. So it's a really cool option if you're looking for kind of a neighborhood and you want to be in that golf cart kind of community. Spurwing is a great option. As you kind of come into the center of Meridian, you're also going to see this golf course that again is all throughout the actual neighborhood. The cool thing here is Spurwing is a private course, so you can be a member whether you live in the neighborhood or not, but you do have to pay to get access to it. Lakeview here is a completely public course, so it runs through all of these neighborhoods, all of the homes. It's a nice course, it's public, it's affordable. It is a great place to go out and either work on your game or just get out with the friends on the weekend. In Meridian as well, right here, this was right next to where we had our first home. This is going to be Settlers Park. So you're going to see they have a ton of tennis courts. They even have the pickleball dedicated courses back here. They've got some cornhole and bocce ball, big athletic fields where if you have any kids that are going to be playing soccer, football, anything like that, they're going to be here. You got the baseball fields, the softball, kickball. Settlers Park is a great place, whether you're going for something athletic, you just want to take the dogs for a walk, you want to go on a walk. They also have the big park and splash pad here. So you're going to spend quite a bit of time here, especially if you have kids throughout the summer. And there you go. That was the overall map tour, official map tour version, whatever you want to call it, of Meridian, Idaho. This was something that I just wanted to kind of give to you all. I know that it started to get a little bit of tangential and such. I'm passionate about Meridian. I think it's one of the best places to live here in the area, and that is not me trying to sell it up or gas it up or anything like that. I truly believe it. My wife and I lived there for quite some time, and we're 5 minutes away from Meridian, so we didn't really move all that far. Overall, though, I hope that it helped answer some of your questions. If I missed any questions, drop a comment below. I would love to get a hold of them. Feel free, check out all of my information. It's down in the pinned comment. Call, text, email, set up a Zoom, whatever works best for you. If there is some way that I can help, I would absolutely love to. But until then, I hope that this was something that you found value in. And as always, I will catch you all on the next one.